say we reject the lies against the Somali communities and the attacks on our families, and we demand not only ICE out, but the state repair the damage that has been done.
We must repair the damage by making sure that this is for our governors, for our state, and for our legislators. We want to make sure that the existing relief programs fits into our criteria of small business owners, not those who make 200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount. We have been suffering since the crisis of ICE.
You know, sometimes you go on the internet.com and you see a clip or a story that you think to yourself when you see it, it can't possibly be real. And for me, this particular clip of Somalis going to the Capitol in the state of Minnesota to demand reparations because the United States of America decided to enforce immigration laws and other laws against specifically these Somali fraudsters is one of the most asinine and ridiculous things I've ever seen in my entire life. But the crazy thing is, this was over a 30-minute press conference where they made all sorts of not asks, but demands for more taxpayer money after they were caught disproportionately stealing crazy amounts of taxpayer money through various schemes within this very same community. And again, everything about this press conference is absolutely ridiculous and absurd. And by the way, it's also contradictory. And you would think at this moment in time, when everybody is looking at the Somali community for all the different frauds that they perpetuated on all these taxpayer-funded programs, the last thing that you would want to do if you were in said community is try to get a new program set up so that you can scam it. But guess what? That's exactly what's going on here, because it turns out Somalis never learn their lesson. They never change, they never grow, and all those different education centers, those childcare centers that didn't have any actually children in them, that's just the tip of the iceberg for how little this community lears when it comes to what's going on around them. But you know what? We're going to break this whole thing down. We're going to talk about this. But before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money. Okay?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Is it working? Yeah. Alaikum salam. To all Muslims and brothers, and good afternoon to everyone watching today.
So first of all, the absolute lack of awareness of this particular woman to open up her press conference by praising Islam and doing all these other ridiculous foreign things while people are looking at this foreign ethnic group for all the different frauds that they're perpetuating. Again, it's just baffling to me. But also, it's incredibly contradictory because on the one hand, she wants money because ICE dareth enforce the law, dareth enforce immigration law. The federal government dared to look into their schemes, and that is costing their businesses money. But at the same time, she's talking about how people from around the country are coming to shop at those businesses.
I wanted to thank our neighbors also for their unconditional support, for standing outside the precinct and making sure we're okay and safe, for making a whistleblower to warn us when ICE is around. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. I also want to say thank you to those who drove across the state lines just to buy from us and support our small businesses.
Again, so on the one hand, you're broke, but on the other hand, people are coming across state lines. I don't know what happened right there. I was saying on one hand, you guys are broke, but on the other hand, people are crossing state. Sorry. I don't know what's happening. I think I have PTSD from the phrase cross state lines.
I also want to say thank you to those who drove across the state line.
Who crossed state lines? He drove from Illinois to Kenosha, Wisconsin. Now again, he drove from Illinois to Wisconsin. It's not like he was in his front yard. Yeah. And he was approached by a group of individuals who posed an imminent threat to his life. He drove across state lines in a state that he doesn't even live in, because obviously we're dealing with a 17-year-old from out of state, and then he crossed state lines with it. He crossed state lines, meaning he traveled across state lines. He traveled there from out of state, who again traveled across state lines.
Drove across the state line.
Sorry, I had to play that compilation right there. She used the phrase that triggers something within within me. You guys all understand if you're long-term viewers. But moving on, we actually hear her break down her demands and how she's not asking for anything all that crazy. She only wants people who are Somalis that make under $200K a year to get these reparations from the state of Minnesota. But in addition to that, she has some other demands, like an eviction moratorium just for Somalis, due to the fact that enforcing federal immigration law is somehow evil, white, and racist.
Also, but that's not it. We must repair the damage by making sure that this is for our governors, for our state, and for our legislators. We want to make sure that the existing relief programs fit into our criteria of small business owners, not those who make $200,000 and above. We don't make that much amount. We have been suffering since the crisis of ICE. We also demand an immediate help to evictions so families are not pushed to homelessness during the crisis. Our community deserves accountability. Our community deserves safety. We need also justice.
So look, I understand that English isn't this woman's first language, but the idea that the Somali community, of all the communities across the country right now in this moment, after we've uncovered multiple instances of fraud, and by the way, for those of you who are going to say it's only about 75 or 80 people that have been indicted from the Somali community in Minnesota, so that's not a broad problem. Make no mistake about it, the autism scheme involved diagnosing 1 in every 16 Somali kids with autism, so it's definitely more widespread. And in a bunch of these schemes, what they find out is that it's not just the people who are indicted, there's all these other people that get kickbacks and whatnot that are never charged with crimes. But the last thing that this woman actually wants in any way, shape, or form is accountability. The last thing that she actually wants in any way, shape, or form is justice, because make no mistake about it, when you run crazy schemes, when you do marriage fraud and all the other things that the Somali community is known for, the accountability and the justice is police enforcement. It is arrests. It is examining your immigration paperwork. And if need be, it is deporting you from this nation. Like, I don't know what this woman's citizenship status is. She says earlier on that she wants to thank the protesters for blowing whistles in order to alert her that ICE is nearby. That's good enough for me. Deport her ass. Send her out of the country. I don't want her here. If you love Somalia so much, why don't you divorce your brother and marry her and get the hell out of my nation?
ICE out, families in.
ICE out.
ICE out, small business in.
ICE out, small business in.
So she ends up ending on a ridiculous chant. I guess these people are understanding how the left wing works. They're embracing their platitudes, which, by the way, is another reason why the Somalis are more dangerous than other immigrant communities in the United States of America, because they come here, they do these scams, and when they're on the cusp of getting caught, they play the race card. They claim that all the things that are coming out against them are evil white racism, and this causes white liberals to fall over and basically die for them in order to prevent them from actually facing the consequences of their actions. Now, by the way, don't think I didn't notice that the local Minneapolis affiliate ended up panning over to somebody holding up a sign, and upon that sign, you could see 200 million now. 200 million now is what is being demanded by the Somali community. Again, the very same community that has repeatedly committed frauds of taxpayer dollars is now asking for a $200 million bailout due to the fact that the federal spigot has been cut off and all their fraudulent businesses, they feel like they're in jeopardy. So now they're just asking to steal directly from the treasury, which is just absurd and ridiculous. Again, get these people out of here. Get them off TV for their own good. I can't believe that this is actually happening and people who support them are actually behind this, but maybe, just maybe, they are that stupid. Maybe they truly never do learn their lesson, because this is pathetic. It's ridiculous. And again, if you had any self-awareness at all whatsoever, you'd know that people maybe are not in the mood for Somalis to be demanding more government handouts.
I would say thank you whoever is here today, and I would say thank you for all Minnesota neighbors. That's what I'm saying. I'm a small business owner, and I'm a mother who works for herself. We have suffering sons starting for ICE. We want to whoever bring over here, we want they pay. Only that's what I'm saying. And I'm asking our governor.
So they put on another small business owner, and honestly, it's barely intelligible what she said right there, but I don't really want to focus on that woman. Who I want to focus is the man that's kind of obscured behind another man that's behind that woman, because if you didn't notice, I 100% did, this dumbass actually has his sign upside down. He is demanding that we fix the damage with multiple exclamation points, but he's too stupid. Again, he must have got educated at one of those leering centers to understand which way to hold his freaking sign. How embarrassing is this? How pathetic of a performance are the Somalis putting on at this moment in time? Holy crap, as what I'm watching right now, actually AI. Am I being duped? Is my Fox 9 somehow just AI generating crappy Somali content? Because I think this is actually making me a bit more crazy. I mean, seriously, if you're behind the camera, don't you tell these people that they're being pathetic right now? Don't you tell this guy to just turn his sign the other way around? Don't you give this man a little bit of a hand? Again, they don't need a hand out. They just need a hand to turn that dumbass sign around because they're that stupid. They're that poorly functioning in society. And again, they're incapable of reading the room.
My name is Khadija Warsame, and I'm also...
Get the fuck out of here. This is not real. I'm being pranked right now. Who the hell made this? What AI slop maker ended up putting out this video? Because I just heard, no joke, a smoke detector go off. I heard a smoke detector chirp. I did not insert it in there digitally at 9:28. In this particular live stream thing that was put on my Fox 9, there is a smoke detector chirp. And by the way, you can also see more clearly that this guy has the upside down sign, and the look on his face. Let us just say that this is not a man that is deep in thought. But there's no way that you put all these Somalis in here to demand more government welfare, and while they were here, a smoke detector's battery went out and they had no idea what to do about it, and then we just heard the chirp. That is not a real thing. I refuse to believe this. I'm honestly at the point in time right now where I think I'm being gaslit by all of humanity. I must have taken a lot of drugs when I wasn't paying attention, because again, I will play you that clip once more. That was a chirp. No way. No way. That did not happen. That is not real. I don't believe it. I don't even know what to do right here. You have this guy with this expression actually in this particular thing. You had the lady with we'll just say she has an interesting face that was talking about how they need to be exempt from evictions, how they need to get $200 million, and it's okay because they only want business owners that make under $200K to get this bailout. And then you have the upside down sign, and then you have the chirp. This is not a real thing. And by the way, you also have the unintelligible speech. I actually went unintelligible as I was trying to say the word unintelligible in terms of speech. That's absolutely crazy. This is just no more. I'm gonna listen to this for just a little bit, just a little bit more time. And if I hear a second smoke detector chirp, if I do, then that's it. I think it might be time to shut this thing down.
So, honor of the Sarakabe Shah. So we're talking about eyes out, prepare the damage. What is the damage? How's the damage affected for our community?
Okay, look, I played it for a little bit longer. I didn't actually hear another smoke detector chirp. Again, I'll go back to 9:28. Go ahead, link in the description, check it out for yourself. It's definitely there. But later on, I didn't end up detecting this smoke detector chirp, and I don't even know where that came from. I don't know if my Fox 9 ended up putting that in. However, I will point out that at one point during that woman's speech, another woman reached across or person and yanked the microphone toward her face because she had no idea what that metal thing was. And again, what she was saying, unintelligible, which I am going to pronounce aces right there. But yeah, absolute madness in every possible way. And yeah, this is where we're at in the United States of America. The Somalis, after being caught defrauding people in Minnesota after the response, which was a law enforcement response to that fraud, which, by the way, isn't just welfare fraud, a lot of it is marriage fraud, they end up saying that they need reparations from ICE, and there's smoke detector chirps and a fucking upside down sign. Like, holy crap, what am I supposed to say about this, guys? Anyway, that's all I really have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, show them by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on the social media, support me via the support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about the craziest press conference of all time. Till next time.